I don't know if you noticed, but I'm one of the few local car channels that likes to feature commercial vehicles. These trucks are the backbone of the economy and are trusted partners of small businessmen and entrepreneurs. I've already featured the Isuzu Traviz, the Foton Gratour, and this time around, it's time to check out the Suzuki Carry Utility van. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another truck review. If you're new to my channel, I hope you click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Philippine automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. After, you click that like button. Also, special thanks to Suzuki Sukat for providing the Suzuki Carry Utility van to do this truck review. If you are within the area and you need a Suzuki, head on down here to Suzuki Sukat and check them out. For any inquiries, you may also contact the person in my pinned comment below. I would have loved to do a full review and driving impressions of the Suzuki Carry Utility van, but these things are so hot that the moment the dealer gets a unit, it just flies off the shelves. Now, we're quite lucky to have a Suzuki Carry available right here, right now, in the Suzuki Sukat showroom. So while this thing is here, let's check out why the Suzuki Carry is selling like hotcakes. The Suzuki Carry Utility van is a van-type Suzuki Carry, but there are other configurations that are also available. You can get it as a drop-side truck, or as a commercial van, or what's commonly known as an aluminum van. The Suzuki Carry Utility van format has a retail price of 679,000 Philippine pesos, which partly explains already why it's selling like hotcakes. Now, that is a truly decent price for a business partner that will give you years of excellent service. The design of the Carry is pure utility. Everything here has a purpose. The windshield is large enough such that you minimize on your blind spots. We also get that Suzuki front grille with the Suzuki badge, which proudly differentiates it from the other utility vans found on the road. We also get LED headlights. Just kidding, guys. These are not LED headlights. These are standard halogens, but they are mounted quite high up. And in fact, even your front bumper is mounted high up, such that if the Carry has to negotiate a rough trail or a rough road, well, the front bumper will not get damaged. We get a ground clearance here for the front bumper of 353 millimeters, which gives the Carry the approach angle that can normally be found in hardcore off-roaders. Well, come to think of it, guys, Suzuki does make the Jimny, so they know a thing or two about making hardcore trucks that can take on an off-road trail. And, well, you want to know something funny? Well, Suzuki has the Jimny, and they also have the Carry, so Suzuki Jim Carry? Anyway, guys, enough with the corny jokes. Over to the side, the Suzuki Carry gets 13-inch steelies for its wheels, and its ground clearance stands at 160 millimeters. The water wading depth is at 300 millimeters, so in case you need to make deliveries to a flood-prone area, well, the Suzuki Carry can carry it. Now, for the mechanical bits, we get ventilated disc brakes in front and drum brakes at the back. And for your suspension, the Suzuki Carry has MacPhersons in the front and leaf springs at the back. Oh yeah, and the Suzuki Carry also gets Suzuki mud flaps. That's right, we get mud flaps in the Suzuki Carry. Cool, huh? The rear cab of the Suzuki Carry has been optimized to haul heavy loads. If you'll notice, the Carry has also grown in size such that it can now compete with the other utility vans available in the market. Now, another feature of the Carry is that this back door can split open 70-30 in case you need to haul larger items in your Suzuki Carry. This would be beneficial for you if you're hauling furniture or appliances or even plyboards. Now, if you'll also notice, the floor is painted in gray and it's made of corrugated steel or corrugated plate, which is as heavy duty as they can get. Now, the bench type seats of the Suzuki Carry can also accommodate a maximum of 7 passengers per row. So that gives you a maximum of 14 passengers that can be, well, loaded here at the back cab of your Suzuki Carry. But if you want to keep them comfortable, it's best to limit it to 5 people per row for a maximum of 10 passengers total. Now, if you want them to be really comfortable inside your Suzuki Carry, you can also fit an air conditioning system here at the rear cab, which is a dealer option that is available at any of the Suzuki dealers nationwide. The Suzuki Carry is equipped with a 1.5-liter gasoline engine that is optimized for hauling heavy loads. It can produce 95 horsepower and 135 Newton meters of torque. Now, the power is sent to the rear wheels via a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I know guys, this is not a diesel engine, but considering that the other diesel-equipped utility vans cost like twice as much as the Suzuki Carry, well, the Carry can still present a tremendous value. And put it this way, guys, fuel is 100% tax deductible when it comes to business expenses, so the price difference between diesel and gasoline shouldn't even be an issue. Alright, so the Suzuki Carry is a utility van, so you shouldn't expect like cabin amenities and features here. We get the basic stuff that's normally found in these utility vans, but there are some bits and pieces that can make your drive a little bit more comfortable. So the seats are the epitome of utility because these seats are practically like injection molded foam that has just been tacked on into the front cab of the Suzuki Carry. The upholstery is vinyl and there's no bolsters, none of that stuff. So it's just pretty much a bench. However, it is quite soft. So it's a little bit comfortable, although I'll have to really, test this out, drive this in order to really see how comfortable this thing is. Now, another notable feature of the Carry is it doesn't get power windows, but rather it has muscle-powered windows right here. So if you are a child of the 80s and the 90s, you would have an idea what these are for. But if you're a millennial or Gen Z, yeah, you'd probably have never experienced these muscle-powered windows right there. Now, the steering wheel is also fixed in place, and the position is pretty much like that of a truck. We don't get any leather here as well. This is urethane. And the good thing, though, is the Suzuki Carry is equipped with an electric power assist system. So maneuvering this thing, it's going to be quite easy. Now, we also have here your instrument gauge. I don't want to call it an instrument cluster because it's just a solo gauge. There's just a speedometer right smack in the middle and a tiny digital window below that shows you your fuel. It doesn't come with an engine temperature gauge. It doesn't even have a tachometer. So shifting the 5-speed manual transmission of the Carry will always be done by ear. So you have to shift by ear in this thing. Well, if you've learned to drive a manual transmission in the 80s and the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. Now, when you move over to your infotainment system, well, okay, fine, radio. I don't want to call this an infotainment system, guys. We get a radio. This is a Pioneer 1-DIN radio that is just basic enough to catch some radio waves and entertain you while you go on and about with your deliveries. Now, the good thing there is, well, you have here an air conditioning system, and this air conditioning system is standard in the Suzuki Carry utility van. It's not an option like in the other brands. And also, this air conditioning system comes with a heater. So, I have no idea where you're going to use a heater here in the Philippines, but at least it's there. But at least it also has air conditioning as standard. Now, another thing that you'll notice is the gear shifter is mounted here on the bottom part of the dashboard. So that effectively frees up a lot of legroom space here on your truck bed floor. Now, here's the thing, guys. That is not, well, it's supposed to be for the third person in the middle. But if you'll notice, the Suzuki Carry doesn't have a seat belt for the person in the middle. So I wouldn't really recommend, putting a third person in the middle because there's no seat belt, and the fact that, the seat itself is kind of on the small side means that the only person that can fit comfortably here in the middle is probably a child. And goodness, please don't try to put a child in the middle of two like adults here in the Suzuki Carry. That is downright dangerous, and I am not recommending that. Okay. Now, when you go back to the shifter, guys, as I mentioned, it's mounted here, and I'm quite. This is something that's kind of weird for me because the other utility vans that I reviewed all have their shifters right beside the driver's seat. But doing a dry shifting right now here in the showroom, it feels intuitive. It feels natural to do, in fact. Oh, all right, there you go. Yeah, see, it feels natural in this position. So maybe Suzuki is onto something there. But as I mentioned, I will need to drive this thing in order to see how intuitive this shifter feels. Now, when you move down here, we still have that manual handbrake. And when you look at the entire, well, cabin layout of the Suzuki Carry, we get a ton of hard plastics here because, well, this is still a utility van. I did notice that we get a solo cup holder right here beside the aircon vent of the driver's side. So I have my clean canteen here, so we'll subject it to my clean canteen test. Ha! It fits! It fits, guys! So the Suzuki Carry's lone cup holder passes my clean canteen test. Now, another thing that I noticed with the dashboard of the Carry is it's an ambidextrous dashboard. You see, it doesn't matter if you're a left-hand drive country or a right-hand drive country. The design of the dashboard in such a way is that you could just, Suzuki can just transfer the steering column from the left side to the right side, and they don't even have to make any design changes on the dashboard of the Carry. Now, that's one way to lower your production costs. And like right now, we're in a left-hand side vehicle. So on the right-hand side, the instrument port, the instrument gauge port is just a cubby storage right there. And speaking of storage, guys, we get a ton of storage here. Got that nice large cubby storage on the front passenger. Another large storage on the bottom part of that. We also have some grooves on top of the dashboard for putting like envelopes, paper, folders, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty basic, straightforward, utilitarian, and I'd really love to have the feel of this thing on the road, but again, I'll have to drive it in order to really give a full assessment on how comfortable or easy it is to drive the Suzuki Carry. The Suzuki Carry may not have a diesel engine under the driver's seat, but it does come in at nearly half the price of other diesel-powered utility vans from Japanese and Korean car makers. And if you're starting a small business with a minimum starting capital, well, this gasoline-powered Suzuki Carry may just be the ticket. Thanks for watching.